Hi, folks. Thank you again for coming on to Back to Basics for Season 3. Today, we're going to speak with Danielle Matthews. We've had her before also on Back to Basic Mode Wisdom, and that's one episode that you don't want to go and miss, and you should go and listen to that. What she's all about is all the struggles that she's gone through, but then what she has actually done is she has moved away from the trauma that she's gone into the health side of things, and made her quite well when it comes to businesses, when it comes to her health, when it comes to her motivational, and when it comes to her finance. We're going to talk about all that onto this episode. So why don't we go and speak with Danielle on Back to Basics. I'll see you there. You don't care. I care.
So.
Okay, let me see. Hi, folks. Thank you again for coming on to Back to Basics. We are going to be speaking with our guest, Danielle, and we're going to find out what she's all about. You know, this is technically the second part of her story. On the first part, what we did is we released one episode back on Back to Basic Mode Wisdom on May the 10th, or is it? Yeah, May 10th. And then what we are doing is today we're going to talk about more on the health side of the tool that she's created, the business that she's created, and we're going to get into why she got into this business. Well, you got to understand what happened on the first one first and listen to the other one, and we'll go from there. But right now, let's go and stop talking to me and let's talk to the guest and to find out who and why and what she's all about. Danielle, thank you for coming on to Back to Basics, second time.
Yeah, thanks for having me back. Glad to be here.
So before we get into all the health aspect of your episode today, what does Back to Basic mean to you?
To me, basics are all about being present in life, being present for what's in front of you, and showing gratitude for it.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you again for that. You know, Danielle, we spoke, back when I released on May 10th. We talked about your, the trauma that you've been through and the car accident you've gone through. And whoever wants to listen to this, they can listen to that episode. So we'll briefly just talk about that right now, if you don't mind. But what made you start this business too at the same time? Is it to help or not help people?
I think all businesses are there to help people and provide a service. So for sure to help people. But for those of you that maybe didn't catch the first one, I've had an interesting journey in my life. When I was 23, I was hit by a drunk driver and sustained a brain injury. And my world just got turned completely upside down. I had previously, I'd been a teacher. I got a degree in biology. I taught for a couple of years after I graduated. And this accident happened during summer break. And it prevented me from being able to go back to work. I couldn't concentrate for more than 10 minutes. I was dealing with severe migraines, sensitivities to noise and light, and a lot of panic attacks, depression set in. It was a very difficult time. And after a year of just focusing on my health, having to move back in with my parents and just full time trying to get myself healthy, I was told by doctors that this was my new normal. They said with my type of injury, my body had done the healing it would do. And I shared last time a little bit about the mindsets that got me through that, what I call the dark night of the soul. Coming out on the other side was a challenge, but it was all inner work. There was a lot within me that I had to learn to master the mental side, right? My emotional space, my thoughts, so that I could be happy, so that I could find something to be joyful for, so that I could be present in the moment, so I could find things to be grateful for in the moment. And in doing that, I tapped into the law of vibration, which I didn't even know was a thing. I didn't know what I had done, but the energy space we hold, everything in this universe is energy. And like vibrations attract like vibrations. And so when I was holding this space, rather than being depressed and anxious, of being grateful and being happy about life, I attracted in more of what would bring me that. And it turned out I attracted in the answer to my physical challenges with my head injury. And it came in an unexpected way. It came from a phone call through an acupuncturist that knew my mom. She said she'd started working with a new technology in her practice. It was a drink, something called redox signaling. And she said every single client was having results, all of them different. Some it was stimulating hormone balance, some it was helping with digestion, some it was helping with, heart stuff, some with liver stuff, some lungs. And she said, I think it would pass the blood-brain barrier and help Danielle with her brain. And so that was, looking back, it's interesting. Sometimes in life, we can connect the dots moving backwards. I didn't realize that because I shifted my inner world, I was able to influence the external world and what would be attracted into my life. But that's exactly what happened. And it's amazing, what unfolded after that.
Yeah, when people they say the word acupuncture, okay, it scares you because those are needles coming to you, right? But should we feel fearful or should we feel, I don't know, strong because it's going to be healing us?
Well, I actually don't do a lot of acupuncture. She did like work with needles. She was talking about a liquid that you drink. It was something like supplemental that she was helping her clients between sessions with. And she said it was like nothing more than what her needles could do. I would say though, be open to things, guys. You never know what's out there that can help. And that's a tradition that's been around a long time. So I would certainly be open to acupuncture. But yeah, what she helped me with and what she called about had nothing to do with her work with needles and the meridians of the body. It was a redox signaling technology that supports cellular health. It was a liquid that you drank.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, thank you again for explaining that because I want people to understand that. Well, when people they hear the word acupuncture, that's the first thing that they think
For
of.
sure. Yeah.
So let me ask you this: the tool that you created for your business, can you explain that how you started that whole process, if you don't mind?
Yeah, so it's interesting. This technology of redox signaling is what came into my world, and it allowed my body to basically detect where it had damage. So redox, it just stands for reductants and oxidants. They're the little signaling molecules that every cell in our body uses to talk. We had a lot when we were little, and as we get older, we make less. And for me, I was young, but I had a lot of damage, and so it was like kind of having one bar of service on your cell phone, like just a weak call for help. And when I started using the ASEA Redox, it basically brought my signal back up to the levels like I had when I was young. And all of a sudden my body could figure out where the damage was and it could more rapidly repair it. Kind of like putting more construction workers on the job site. Like the job all of a sudden starts getting done faster. And that's what occurred for me. I'll never forget about 3 months into using it, that pounding that had been relentless in my head just stopped. All of a sudden, I could focus again. I had energy again. I wasn't dealing with this pounding, this pressure that I'd been dealing with for 2 years at that point. And my cognitive therapist, who is a woman I had been seeing weekly, she said to me, Danielle, I've worked with brain injury, for 30 years. And I've never watched someone have such a rapid recovery, so far out from their initial trauma. She said, with your type of injury, that doesn't happen. And a quote from her, she said, what the hell is that stuff you started drinking? And I just remember sitting there in her office and laughing because I didn't really understand what it was. To me, it sounded like it was like glorified salt water. And I said, I don't really know what I'm drinking. And she said, but we need to learn because my other clients need this. And that she was really the catalyst for me thinking beyond myself, for me thinking like, okay, now that I'm healthy and now that I've come across this, can it benefit other people? And that's really where things started. Having been through what I went through, I didn't feel comfortable going back to like a 9-to-5 job. I felt that it wasn't secure because having lost my health, I lost my ability to earn because my earning was in proportion to the hours that I could put in. And when I couldn't put any hours in, I couldn't earn money. And so for me, after that, I didn't want to go back to that. I wanted to create an income that would pay me even if something happened to me. And as a biology major, I had no idea how to do that. But, this company that had the redox technology, they weren't bringing it to market through a traditional route. It wasn't going to be sold in stores. A pharmaceutical company had wanted to purchase it, but they were planning to shelve it. And so they had said no to that buyout and they brought it to market through word of mouth. And I was told you could actually partner with them and create your own business and share this with people, help people with their health. And you could do that for people around the world. And I thought, well, you know what? If something were to happen to me, people would still buy this for their own health. And so maybe this will be able to create what I'm looking to create, and I can help people along the way. So of course there was interest in myself, right? That original question you asked. And then the motivating factor, right, for anything to actually run and sustain and grow, it has to be
Mm.
of service to other people.
Yeah, thank you again for that. Uh, so you're telling me that I can just go to a pharmaceutical and just pick this up, or does this go through a health, you know, prescription from a doctor saying that you need to take care of this tool?
No, it didn't go the pharmaceutical route. So a pharmaceutical company was interested in buying the patents to make these reductants and oxidants back in 2008.
Mm.
This was something that was on the table to be sold, and that company made it very clear that the beta test group and the production would need to stop after the deal went through.
Mm.
And the gentleman that owned the patents became very concerned that they weren't going to bring it to market, and so he backed out of the deal, multi-million-dollar offer. And he said, okay, we're not going to go down the pharmaceutical route. And he said another reason not to do it was because with pharmaceuticals, you can have one application, one drug application, right? It's very specific.
Mm.
And it takes millions of dollars for that specific drug application. Well, with redox, it's a non-specific thing. It's not like it's designed to help repair a brain injury. It's not designed to help someone with, digestive issues, someone with Parkinson's, someone with COPD. It's not designed for that. It goes in and it stimulates your cells to communicate so your body can figure out where it's damaged and repair it. So it helps all cells, doesn't matter where they are in your body. And so this gentleman, his name's Vertus Norton, he said, you know what, we're not going to go down for approval for one drug application because that would sell this too short. And we'll go in the supplement category.
Mm.
And he landed on bringing this to market word of mouth because no one knows what redox is. Your listeners have never heard that term until they heard me say it. But it is something that will be a household name 10 years from now. It's kind of like when antioxidants came on the scene 40 years ago. People didn't know what they were. Now
Right.
It's everywhere. It's the same thing. It's actually kind of the full story, redox is, but this is something that is truly life-changing. And because he decided to bring it to market through word of mouth, they don't do any traditional advertising. They take a rep. So someone like myself who says, hey, I love this stuff. I'm happy to share it. And it's almost like affiliate links, right? I think we're used to that this day and age. Someone can buy it through me. You can't get it anywhere else. You have to get it through a rep. And the reason being, it requires some education. You need some help with how to take it properly, get set up properly, that kind of thing.
Yeah, thank you again for that. And I'm pretty sure that there's a link that I'm going to be posting on here, so then we can actually have people connect with you if that's okay with you.
Absolutely. Yeah. If people are interested in this, it's interesting how life puts answers in front of us. I didn't expect this acupuncturist to call with the answer that was going to help me to repair. And you probably didn't think you'd find it on Back to Basics. But it's amazing how when you're asking and searching and looking for something, the right things will start to come in front of you. And if you know somebody dealing with a health issue or you are, I would say explore this as an option because it's non-toxic. They couldn't find a lethal dose. There's no LD50 on it. It won't contraindicate with anything you're doing, which was a big concern of mine. But any supplements, drugs, whatever you're taking, it doesn't matter. You've already got redox in your system. It's already interacting with redox. And so you're safe to do it. And you can't be allergic to it. So it's something that, you can try and know, hey, this can't hurt and it might help. And I think that's really kind of what it all comes down to.
Yeah, thank you again for that. You keep on saying that it's repair, but
Mhm.
now we know the positive side of things. Now, if people they ask, what are the side effects to it? Is there a side effect to it?
Oh, so valid question. Yeah. So one of the things that redox signaling molecules do is that they amplify and activate your glutathione. So glutathione levels will upregulate. Glutathione is a master antioxidant in your system, helps the body to detoxify, helps the body deal with inflammation. And so if you're upregulating that, I believe their research showed it was around 800%, which is phenomenal. You can detox. And so there really are no side effects, but some people do have a detox response, which they might think, oh, there's a problem here. It's not a problem. But if you think about detox symptoms, you might feel groggy. You might have diarrhea. You might get a rash. It's something that if the system has toxins in it, think about how it would get it out. Some people sweat, have a really stinky body odor. There's just different ways that your system naturally gets rid of toxins. And so when you start this, it's about 5% of people notice that detox. And
Hmm.
it's wonderful. I mean, it's not a bad thing, but it can, not be comfortable to go through initially, but it's because the system needs to get that out. Imagine if it stayed in your system, what that would cause.
Do you thank you again for that. Do you think that people should connect with their doctors to see if this is a good fit for them? Because we don't want to tell people that this is the way to go, and then it goes the high haywire after that, right? So, what are your thoughts on that part? Do you think?
Um, so what I'll say is there's no risk. This is why I have been confident for the last 8 years sharing this. You absolutely can't be allergic to it. There is zero toxicity, and there is not much out there you can say that about. Blueberries are natural, but there's some people that are allergic to blueberries. Redox signaling is in you. These molecules are in you, so it's native. Like you drink it, there's absolutely no downside to it. It's just going to make your system communicate like it did when you were little, which is phenomenal. So if people want to ask their doctor, they can. Most doctors weren't trained on this. This is newer science. I mean, the field of redox signaling, the first Nobel Prize was awarded for it in the late 90s. This is just making its way into textbooks. There's a lot out there. Your doctors are specialized in very specific things. My grandfather was a doctor, so he was a lung doctor, cardiologist, and he was the first to say, I know what to prescribe. I know how to cut. That's what I was taught. That's what I'm very good at. And he was excellent in his field. But he said, they never taught me what food you should eat. So don't ask me that question.
So do you think, sorry to interrupt you, do you think that nutritionist is also another people that they know these type of answers?
Some do, some don't. A nutritionist, again, their field is nutrition. Redox is not nutrition. This is in a category of its own. This is why we have experts like myself. I work with many doctors as well. We have a medical board. We have 2 times a week that medical board members will do a talk and then answer questions live, because some people want to talk to, a professional. And they can, professionals that have integrated this in their practice. They know what it is. They know how it works. They're on the medical board of the company. You can go and talk with them. So if anyone's interested in that, Mondays and Tuesdays, we do talks, one in the morning, one at night. And people can ask whatever they want directly, which is really, really nice.
Yeah. Thank you again for that. Before we go further, there's a rapid fire round that we started on season 3. If you're ready for it, we'll go with that. Is that okay with you? You played the game last time, so let's see how it goes this time here for you.
Sounds good.
Awesome. So the first word is going to be biology.
Oh, that's life. Yeah.
Mental state.
That's everything. Your mental state really creates your world.
Vibration.
Like attracts like. Never forget it.
Okay. Energy.
Oh, that's the universe.
Blueberry.
Delicious.
Redox signal.
Profound.
Okay. Redesign.
Creativity.
Repair.
Building blocks is what came to my mind.
Okay. Detox.
Amazing.
If you had a choice between the 3, fitness, health, or nutrition, which one would you pick?
Health. I feel like that encapsulates all of it.
And the last 2 is going to be Danielle.
I think of me like last time. There's just a picture of me that comes to my head when I think of the word Danielle.
Okay. And the last one is back to basics.
Yeah, presence. That's everything.
Thank you so much for that, and thank you for playing the rapid fire round for this season 3. Before you leave today, let me ask you this here: if the accident didn't happen, if the redox signal did not happen, where would you be?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, I'm pretty sure I'd be at home, unable to work, and really miserable with my health. I think redox is what turned my world around. It allowed my health to be able to repair and allowed me to get out there and help a lot of other people. So if this hadn't happened, I think there'd be thousands of people that would also be in worse situations. And I would still be probably living at home with my parents.
Yeah, but then this is like another signal for you to help the other signal. Does that make sense? What I said?
I think so.
Yeah, but thank you again for coming here. And before you leave, do you have any last words to all my Back to Basic listeners? And how is your journey on Back to Basics too? On top of that,
Oh, yeah, it's wonderful. Always happy to be here. And yeah, if anyone's listening, like I said, if it resonates, reach out. I'm very accessible. I'd say Instagram is the best way to connect with me. I love talking with people, love answering questions, and absolutely, like, you don't know what you don't know in life. And exploring new things, just say yes. And you'll realize at the end, if it resonates, go forward with it. If it doesn't, you don't. But I think there's so much in life that, like, the more I learn, the more I realize I don't know. And the topic of redox signaling is one that I arrogantly dismissed when this first came across my path. I didn't share that here, but I should say that. For 6 months, I ignored this acupuncturist, thinking that she was involved in some scam because I hadn't learned about redox in my biology courses in school. And yeah, we don't know what we don't know.
yeah. Thank you again for being here on Back to Basics. And I've learned a lot from you in these 2 episodes that I've done with you. And it seems like I can just be a friend of yours and just keep on asking you questions if that's okay with you.
Happy to stay connected always.
Awesome. Thank you again for being on Back to Basics here.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me.
So guys, we spoke with our guest today and we talked about the basics of, well, the redox signal and the health, the fitness, the mental health. I mean, those are the words that we use today. But there's one thing that I did understand from her in the last 2 episodes that I've done with her is just keep on learning. Enjoy life to the fullest. Whatever it is, we're still learning, because what she just said today is not in the textbooks. We're still learning because this world is crazy, because there's so many nutrition out there that we don't know. There's a lot of acupunctures and there's so oxidants that she mentioned, or detox, or whatever word you want to use. There's so much knowledge out there. Why don't we ask the right questions to the right people? And that's what we're doing today. So as usual, there's a quote of today, and hopefully my guest will like this quote. The quote is, practice seeing possibility. When you focus on what you already know, creating the same reality. Isn't that what we just said? Isn't that what we're trying to do here? Now, as usual, as always, what do we always say at the end of the episode? Everything in life goes back to basics, and that's what we did today, guys. Guys, season 3 is almost over. With your love and support, please do review and rate the show. Love you all. Take care. I will see you next time on Back to Basics.
Well done. We nailed it. 2 episodes in an hour.
Not bad, right?
Yeah, well done.
Thank you. Guys, thank you again for tuning in to Back to Basics and listening to the excellent episode that we had today with our guest. You know, with your love and support, we do need you to at least rate our show, review our show, because it does make us stronger day by day, week by week, as I usually say on my episodes. And there are 3 things in this episode that it makes a hit for me, which is the content, the guest, and definitely the host. So guys, take care, God bless, and remember, everything in life goes back to basics, and that's what we did today, guys. Guys, take care, God bless, and see you next time on Back to Basics.